So today we're going to be talking about the interaction between ADHD students as well as learning. So ADHD is a condition of the brain where it makes it hard to focus sometimes. Trying to, you know, focus on one topic while trying to avoid distractions. So I did this little test thing with Pedro as an example. And in this little walkthrough, I noticed how even stuff like getting ready for school can be a challenge sometimes, right? Because of the constant distractions that you're facing at home. For example, like the TV, parents are gonna, why aren't you at school yet? Stuff like that. You're gonna be late. The pressure of school already coming up. It's very, very challenging for someone with disabilities. Now, in several studies, including one by Rosa Chessman, along with others specialists, um, children with ADHD achieve less than peers in their school. Now, this is obviously an issue because, according to another study, is around that 11% of students have this disability. So it's very, very common. It's not something that is just brushed away. So how can teachers be more involved with helping their students with this disability be good in the classroom, right? So teachers need to just be mindful of this because teaching classroom with students who have disability, they're going to oftentimes let their mind wander, not really grasp the whole concepts, which is okay, which is fine. Having just some common courtesy, being like, hey, more extra time on assignments, maybe some more time on homework, stuff like that will help immensely because people with disability maybe need some extra time, maybe need some more help with their assignments, and that's okay. Everyone has their own issues. But it's also important to remember that students are not monolithic. They have different personalities, different ways of life, different lives in general. So while this could work for Susie, this may not work for Jim, right? So also allocating those needs of those students specifically is also very, very important. Lastly, looking at the Christian worldview on this, so it's important to remember that because students with disabilities, we can't think of them as less. That is the last thing you want to do as a teacher. Students are human too. Of course, they're smaller humans, but they're still humans at the end of the day. And it can be challenging sometimes, it can be frustrating sometimes even to try to teach a classroom with these students who maybe aren't focusing or they don't seem to care as much. But according to the IDA, every single student has a right to learn, no matter what. That's really important because students go to school to learn. Of course, students aren't always going to be the most attentive, even if they have a disability. Regardless, though, teachers are there to teach the students, not to look down upon them, not to treat them as less, but teach them about the material and overall about life. Teachers are oftentimes great mentors for students. So overall, just seeing the image of God in the students is very, very important. Knowing that they're human too. They're loved by God too, right? So overall, teachers need to be just aware, work with the specialists, work with doctors, work with parents, obviously. Parents are a very, very important component as well, right? Parents have a direct access to them at home. They see them for the day at home, at the sporting baseball game or whatever. Parents are vital to get to know the student better and to help them with what they may be struggling with, whether it be ADHD or some other kind of disability, doesn't matter. So overall, I think teachers need to be aware of this issue and do their best to try to support their students in any way they can to make it a successful classroom environment.